What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today we're going to be going over battle drills, especially since yesterday we went over the new updated November tier list. And the tier list, when it came to battle drills, had a lot to do with all these flags and towers around the battlefield. They kind of showed you guys the best damage dealers for AoE encounters, things like that. Today I'm going to show you guys 3 of the best teams you can run here to get the max amount of damage if you are one of the boss damage dealers. Now, my damage isn't absolutely crazy or anything like that compared to my guildmates that have much better teams, much better spending. Our teams are respectable, and they're in the 100 to anywhere between 50 and 100 billion damage range here. However, there is one squad you can see, holy cow, Cerulean is popping off. I'll show you guys my attempts here today, so you can see what type of damage I can do. But you can see the damage can go upwards of crazy amounts with this faction bonus. Now you can see here, I have the same exact squad running here as well, but it's just not nearly as good. However, our team has had some upgrades, so I'm going to show you guys the 3 different team compositions that work very well. The first one is going to be, I think, the weakest one out of the 3, but again, you have 15 heroes. You need to slot in the best of the best. The real surprising thing here is Brian being added to a ton of teams, and he's basically getting added as a damage dealer so that we are getting this Wilder Eternal Bloom ability here. We're getting the faction talents for the Wilder faction. That's very, very important. And of course, we're also using Thorn for that buffing damage and everything. We are using our Haywin to keep our team alive. And then of course, the 2 damage dealers are going to be Lily May, and they are going to be Taylene. So we got a couple attacks here with this first team that I can show you guys. This might be a longer video. I'm going to show you guys kind of all my attempts here. The big thing here is, again, you want to make sure you get the Taylene to the point where she has enough healing that she's going to be non-stop attacking. You never want a Taylene in a boss scenario to stop attacking if possible, because if they stop attacking, she then has to generate all that energy back up to 1000 to pop her ultimate again. And you can see that you want to keep this going. This one's a pretty solid team overall. I actually really like this team here, and surprisingly enough, with the buffs that we've had in the past day, we're still doing almost close to the same that we did with our light bearer squad. So this one right here, really awesome, almost 90 billion right there. You see Lily May being completely overshadowed by the damage that Taylene is outputting here. So let's get our second attempt in here as well. These damaging fights are, again, I love how the focus in AFK Journey is so much on the boss battles. I love boss battles in so many games, and I actually get mad when games that I love don't have enough really good quality boss fights, or it's like the same one over and over, and it's just the same like 2 heroes that are good in every single one. There's actually really good variety in the way that they do boss battles in AFK Journey, and I really like it. And this is just one of those examples. It's just absolutely amazing, the type of teams. Throwing Brian in, again, it's a really weird situation, but it just ends up working very well here. And again, almost up to that 9. Actually, no, we did hit the 90 billion mark that time. Pretty sweet damage right here. So very respectable. That is the first team, and that's the Wilder type setup. Now, I'm gonna hold off on what I would say is the next best team for a little bit, because it does involve Vaa. And if we can get Vaa involved once this boss drops below 50% HP, that would be optimal. Now, with the second team we're going to show you guys is the one that everybody is using here. It's this squad right here. You can see this team is just going to be absolutely crazy powerful. Now, the placement of the heroes is pretty close to what you're used to. We're going to put Smokey in the front, put you right there, Cassidy over here. We're going to put Corin in the back over here, and we are going to put Rowan over here, getting that light bearer faction bonus, which we actually have up to plus 30 now. And the big important thing is make sure your Cassidy's ability is linked up with your Corin. This should provide a lot of damage, and we don't quite have 3 attacks here today, sadly. We got 2. I'm kind of hoping this team is strong enough for us to push all the way down to 50% so we can really show off the power of a Vaa team, because the Vaa team is much better once it drops below that certain mark. compared to above 50%. Now this team should be pushing, I would guess on my account now, in the 120 to 130 billion mark after we've got some buffs, because I didn't do any attacks yesterday. I want to make sure we could just record our battles live so you guys can see exactly what's going on. Up to about 60 billion. We got 20 seconds left, and this is where it's really going to start ramping up on damage. We're already up to 80 billion. We passed the 90 billion mark. Might not actually get as high as I really wanted to. We got to 112, which is still a very respectable amount of damage. It's just compared to teams that have full Paragon 5, this is going to pale in comparison. Now that is a good chunk of damage. Oh, 60%. I don't think we're going to have enough punching power with what we have right now to truly show off the Vaa team, but the Vaa Lena team works no matter what. These two heroes are very, very strong, and I'll show you guys. We have a couple attempts. I think they've done about 50 billion in the past. I don't know what type of damage they'll do above 50%, but this is the perfect opportunity to show you guys. Even if it's not the most optimal time to use the team, you might want to. Either that, or I might just save it up to later today and show you guys my replay from the other day. Granted, it would be stronger now because our whole account is stronger in general. But it is crazy how the last 20 seconds of the battle, we gain like twice our damage what we had from the previous like 70 seconds of this fight. So there we go, up to 90. Up to 104. This one's gonna be a much better attempt right here. Yep, 1600. Yep, see, there is so much RNG involved with this team. Sometimes you can do so much more damage compared to previously. Literally hitting the 100 billion mark by himself. So 123, really good damage numbers, and yeah, we're at 53%. So I kind of want to save my last squad right here. I'll show you guys one of my replays because I really don't want to I don't want to waste my attempt at this point. So there's all my attempts there. We should have the couple here up the top that we just previously had from today. All these should be, yep, our Taylene, and I think this is my previous Taylene from the day before. And then we do have to scroll down a ways to find the next best team, but it's still not that far off right here. I'll show you guys the replay of it. So this one here, I'll show you guys the layout here in a minute, but this is the Lena and Vaa squad that's really good. And you can see when we fought, he was below 50% because you get 1,000 health bars, and so if he's below 500, that means they're below that mark there. And you can see everybody just jumps up on top of everything. You're not really seeing much here, but that is definitely the way to go with the squad here. So making sure the two heroes that are in the back for this bonus are going to be these two, and then the rest can kind of just be like off to the side here. The positioning isn't super important on them. The important part is to make sure Lena and the Vaa are in the back. So those are the three best teams that I know you can run right now. If you guys have a team that does better than this, please hit me up in the comments down below. But this is the squad. This is the 3-team squad we're running, and it's being pretty dang successful. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.